When I first learnt I was HIV positive, I was very shocked. But on the other hand, I was very relieved that my son is HIV negative. At that time, it all seemed like a bad dream, that one day I'd wake up and it'd all be over. The doctor asked how I was infected. I said during sex. He said, "So, you've had quite a few partners?" I said no, I just married the wrong man. When I heard it in black and white that I was HIV positive, I realized I'd been infected by my husband. I felt a lot of hate for him. How could he do this to me? He hid it for 10 years, and he knowingly exposed us to the virus. I can't change it now. I have to live with it. But when I'm ill, I'm still angry and hateful, even if he's been dead a long time now.
Aber wenn es mir schlecht geht, habe ich auch heute noch Zorn und Hassgefühle, auch wenn schon so lange tot ist.
The AIDS Relief House in Vienna offers help to those seeking advice and support. In Austria, around 12 to 15,000 people live with the AIDS virus. Every year there are around 500 new infections. So where does society stand today on HIV-Aids, the spectre of the 80s? Attitudes to HIV and AIDS have certainly changed in recent decades. In the 80s it was very new. In the beginning people knew very little about how the infection could or couldn't be spread. It was lumped together with many taboo subjects, with sexuality in general, homosexuality, prostitution, drug use, with promiscuity and associated with illnesses, dying and death.
Freier Sexualität und das alles im Zusammenhang mit Krankheit und mit Sterben und Tod.
Little wonder that most people have strong prejudices. The consequence is the exclusion of those affected. Sister Stella Maris of the Order of the Good Shepherd knows the real problem facing HIV and AIDS patients. Most suffer as much from social AIDS as from the disease itself. If you have HIV, then you're judged negatively. If you have cancer, people feel pity. It's a big difference. For 10 years now, Sister Stella has been caring for AIDS patients. She doesn't preach, she listens, comforts and helps in their everyday lives. My contact is non-verbal at first, but the longer I know people and the more I visit, the more people talk. When people ask me to be there in their final days, then my role becomes deeply real and very existential.
Dann wird das sehr tief eigentlich und sehr existenziell auch. When
I do presentations, I begin by introducing myself. And then I say that I'm HIV positive. They usually know in advance as well. But you can tell they always expect it to be visible. And in the beginning, they are very still and very quiet. But when I begin to tell them about HIV, even throw in a few jokes, then they relax and ask me questions. For the paramedics of the armed forces, it is a new experience to meet someone who so openly confesses their HIV infection. Wiltrut Stefanek founded the support group PulsHIV so that she could educate the public. I decided pretty quickly that I'd be living openly with HIV. simply because I saw no reason to hide it. And I wanted to prevent people talking about it behind my back. Pretty soon afterwards, I started to talk to the public too. Looking back, I would still say it was the right decision, despite all the negative experiences. Above all, because of the good feedback I've had. But in reality, I wouldn't recommend it to everyone.
Auf der Oberfläche wird wahrscheinlich mittlerweile kaum jemand
It is unlikely for anybody to say outwardly, I've got something against HIV-positive people, or I discriminate against that. But it is different when it happens within their own inner circle. Then people can't deal so easily with their own fears and prejudices. So this is where we come in, supporting not only AIDS patients, but also those around them, educating those who fear the disease.
Und vor allem natürlich für die Betroffenen.
Michael is 48 years old. 4 years ago he contracted AIDS and now he is in a wheelchair. He seldom leaves the house, since his apartment is on the 3rd floor. Sister Stella's visits are a welcome change for the former Globetrotter. It is my experience, after so many years, that almost everyone I meet has reservations when they first see me, about the church mostly. Then they gradually start to trust me. These people need someone to listen and to care, but not necessarily in sympathy.
Zuhören, Anteilnahme, aber nicht unbedingt Mitleid.
Ich denke, ohne meine Familie, ohne meinen Sohn, meinen Freund.
Were it not for my family, my son and my partner, I wouldn't be where I am today. I'm very happy that my parents have chosen to support me, because I didn't think they would in the beginning. But they are completely behind me.
Gott sei Dank kann die Medizin das Leben heute sehr verlängern.
Thank God today's medicine can prolong life and delay the onset of AIDS, or even prevent it altogether. But when it comes to social AIDS, we're all doctors. We must all help ensure that those affected are not excluded from society.
Ausgegrenzt werden.